I did practice for a while. I didn't do anything more. I was very happy growing up my children. Loved being a mother. And then once we grew up, there came a time when I said that I could now get back to a little bit of work and paint some. I started with children, being at the gang. I called them my abilities, the power that is invested in us as human beings. And that's something which is very exciting to realize and work with that power. Sorry. To begin with, how do I do my work? I have some history. All of us have, should I go with it? Is this better? You can't hear me? Hi. That was very loud. Is this better? Oh, thank you so much. So with this, I can actually move around. I don't have to sit in it. What I absolutely enjoy watching are crime shows. What's the connection? Let me get to that. Crime shows are fabulous. Some of them, my 36-year-old daughter will not sit with me because she can't take it. Why can't she take it? She says it's horrible. Okay, it's not horrible. But it gives you a sense of the psychology of the people committing the crimes. And I've been into this since I was a child. Sherlock Holmes, and of course Enid Blyton and whatever, James Hadley Chase, and then of course too much more. Now of course with Netflix I'm having a blast, honestly. It's the best. Yeah. So why do I am not a violent person. My antipathy towards violence is very high. And because I am so against violence, I try to understand why people commit crimes. Once I get, maybe I'll never understand, but at least I try. So what is the solution to this? My solution to this was words of wisdom, knowledge, understanding of who people are, what they do. I was in the US at one point, and for almost 2 months, I used to paint before that, and they have these little temple shows and temple fairs. So my sister who lived there said, why don't you participate? I started by writing mantras and shlokas. I think being an Indian is a gift. It's a gift because we have a long line of fabulous things which we can learn from, our shlokas and our mantras being one part of that. So I started writing that and I sold extremely well. I used to write the Gayatri mantra or just the Om or Om Namah Shivaya, very simple words. When I came back, I wanted to write it in such a way that the second and third generation in America could also read, which means it had to be in English. They don't read Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Devanagari, Sanskrit is just out of the question. So I sat down, I went to one of a very reputed calligraphist in Mumbai called Achyut Pala. I attended his classes for a month. And then I sat in my house and devised this font. The font had to be in English, but it had to look like the Devanagari script. I call it the Om Akshar because I try to put in words which are relevant to us. I use Walt Whitman, Osho, Jalaluddin Rumi, Rabindranath Tagore, and of course from the Vedas, from the Gita, those were a given. At some point, I also started putting this on lifestyle products. I put it on a motorbike. My son builds motorcycles. He takes the 500 Enfield, strips it apart, and the entire body is redone, repainted, turned into a chopper. So one of his clients wanted something very different. So they asked me if I could write on those body parts. I said, you send them home, I'll try. I'm not coming to that sweaty workshop of yours. So he sent me every single part, the mudguard, the tank, the headlamps, everything came home. I wrote the entire Hanuman Chalisa on the motorbike. Turned out quite well. I'm happy. At some point, then my daughter took up the idea of taking my art and transforming it into furniture, which turned out pretty well also. Finally, I came into fashion. What I'm wearing is mine. The scarf has the Narayani Stuti written on it, 16 verses from the Durga Stuti. My dress has my people, I call them the divinities, and that's what's written around them. I've had multiple shows, and I think I did pretty well. So what I'm going to do is take you through some slides to show you my works. So give me a minute. Yeah. On canvas, I was lucky. I could. Yeah. These were who I call divinities. There is a divine power in each one of us. The man and the woman, Purush and Prakriti, yin and yang. The energies for me have to be equal, and they are. I consider myself equal. This is how it is. My initial works were simple but extremely bold, but they had a serendipity, a serenity which was in them. Yeah, it's it. Okay, this is a close-up. I find that their eyes closed, their hand in benevolence. This was an aspect that was very pure and very calming, very peaceful. In this, the next slide that comes up, on one side of the figures, you will see there are 7 colors put up in the lines. This is one of the yogic gifts that we have received. These are called the 7 prime chakras within us. And it is these chakras which are continuously rotating energy centers, which, if we work on them, makes us better. There is a kriya which is called the chakra kriya, and I used to do that, and that is how, and then we as people, as human beings, evolve. We also become expansive. Everything expands within us, and we take all our good qualities out into the world. And suddenly, there's another part of me which is very bright, very peppy, and full of fun. Lotuses, fishes, the sun, these are my watercolors. Those were my canvases. And I enjoy my watercolors. They're a lot of fun. This is my parrot family. Again, a lot of fun. And they're enjoying themselves, a stroll in the garden. This is the font. If you can read, it's simple. It's the entire alphabet, A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. There are differences, like the Indian script. You pull and you take it to the left. It is done with the 40 45-degree angle. I started with a boru. A boru is a bamboo stick which you file to a 45-degree angle. I have now graduated to nibs, which again I still have to shave into that position. This one which you see, the further one, if you can read, it is A-U-M, and there's a Chandra Bindi on top. Om in Sanskrit is a 3.5 syllable word. It is not O-M. When we meditate, it comes out as Om. So 3 and the Chandra Bindi. So that is the exact replication of the Om in English. This one here says Aham Brahma Asmi. Now that to me turned out like a design, which was interesting. My company is called Om and Chakras. So when I combine the power of the word Om with the 7 chakras that we work on, it's called Om Chakra. The farther one is Om Mani Padme Hum, which is a softer and a lighter version, because that is also, it has a different mood. In Maharashtra, where I come from, the Gudi Padwa is celebrated. This one says, Gudi Padwachi Shubhecha. I know it's difficult to read, but it's fun. And it goes up, it again forms a design. Yes, now this person we all know. Every one of us has at some point or the other drawn a Ganesha. Ganesha is wonderful, colorful, and he has all the attributes for an artist. The color, the shape, everything. On this, all around him, I have written the Vakratunda. Vakratunda, Mahakaya, Surya Koti, Samaprabha, that goes all around this. These were the ones that I sold by the dozens. The next font that comes, this one which you see, if you notice, my font has been refined. My strokes have gone larger. I have pulled the lines and gone further down as much as I can. All of this is done with a dip nib, which means I can do 1 or 2 alphabets at a time. That's it. These were my people again, divinities, and the hair has turned into the words. This one is Khalil Gibran. Khalil Gibran, the Prophet, has some fabulous words on every situation in life when he was asked. So one of my heroes is that. The next one is an English monk called John Donne. He writes, and into that gate they shall enter, and in that house they shall dwell, where there shall be no cloud, nor sun, nor darkness, nor dazzling, but one equal light. So words like these, which work for relationships, which work for us, were what inspired me to keep painting and to keep writing the words also on them. This one is the perfect position that I found, beautifully melded into each other, working well with each other. And of course, Khalil Gibran all around them. The next one is very striking, very bold, very simple. It says only one thing. It says, Subhanallah. When you are in a state of grace, when you want to say something is so beautiful that is beyond words, you use that word, Subhanallah. The next one has the Gayatri Mantra written down it. It's a very colorful work, and it brings in a lot of color and energy into people's homes. These were works that I used to go to and paint and sell. This one again are words from the Bhagavad Gita, written in the Sanskrit form, which the words are in English, but it reads in Sanskrit. One of my favorites is combining the 7 colors with Om. This is called the rainbow Om. You have the rainbow which has the same colors as the 7 chakras. And that's how, and it's very simple, very striking. This one, the next one that comes up, moves. It comes and it goes and it creates its own energy within any house. These are the 99 names of Allah. Beautifully written, and like I said, it takes a lot of work because it's very time consuming. The next one is a pop of color. Lotuses have been my favorite since the beginning. It is the only flower I paint. And the words are again from the Bhagavad Gita. The next one is a very mellow painting. It's gold, it's warm, it has the 7 colors, and it has the names of the 7 chakras. They are the Muladhara, the Swadhisthana, the Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, Sahasrara. So they start from the torso and they go up to the crown of the head. This one is known as the golden knot. Again, when you take your 7 colors and you energize them, you have formed a golden knot, which is like the most powerful thing that you could possess. This is a simple one which says Krishna. This was a commissioned work. Somebody, a friend's son was called Krishna, and they wanted this for the child. These are box frames. This is how they were framed. They were only 12 by 12 in size, but 2 inches in thickness. And that is the front. Each one of them had a different small mantra on it. I bought my home about 15 years ago, and that was purely mine. So I went a little mad and I painted it all over. There was an exhibition by Good Homes magazine in Bombay, and they came to collect some of my paintings. Their art editor walked into the house and said, "Madam, I'm coming back to shoot your house and feature it." They featured it in their magazine. This was the feature that they did in their magazine. That is the Hanuman Chalisa written by hand on paper. This is the entrance to my house. It says, Aham Brahma Asmi. I am Brahma, you are Brahma. Me inside the house is the same as you coming and entering into my house. We are all creators of our own universe. This is the inside of the same door. That was the morning sun, and this was the evening moon and stars. When I walked into my new house, every door was white, and I couldn't stand it. I painted every door in the house in a different way, in a different color. It was too much fun. My son would come home from work and say, "One more door, one more wall." It was funny, but it looked beautiful, and so it got featured. The tiles in my kitchen were peach in color. I don't understand the color peach. I do not understand. So I took my acrylic and painted every tile like this. This is the 7 chakras, and a client wanted me to make a family tree with the chakras. So in the center, you have your chakras. On the side, the family names, words by Khalil Gibran and others, and a little bit of painting. So this was an Indian family tree. The building that I lived in was very happy with my work, and they asked me to do something for them. So I created these, which are known as wish boxes. 6 wish boxes on each floor. You open, when you come home, you open a box. You leave there all your worries, your angst, your tiredness, and then you go into your house. So it was an idea which meant that once you went home, you were in a good position. One more wish box. So wish boxes were a part of the lifestyle, and I did some more. I did some boxes. I did some trays, and later on calligraphy came on it. Lotuses were my favorite. Tray again. I did a lot of bags and purses, which everything was canvas. Everything was hand painted. A puja stool. I bought it from the Raddiwala, cleaned it up, painted it, and this is what it became. A patlo, what we have to do a puja on. Again, bought from the Raddiwala and worked upon. As I said, lotuses were my thing. So from this, I created a dinnerware. I'm sorry, I don't have too many pictures. This is the quarter plate, and then there was a larger dinner plate. So my daughter and my son-in-law decided to take my art further, to transform it into furniture. Let's give them a minute, please. It's a very short video, but it tells you how they thought of the idea and how then they executed it. All right, sorry, the video is not playing. We'll do the next one. So this was a painting called the Shiv Shakti. Shiv Shakti again was of energies between the man and the woman. As you can see, or maybe let me explain, is that the woman is merged into the man. The golden lines have created that entire coming together of the two, and it's still continuing and will continue into the black. And from this, we made the furniture. There were two chairs, the Shiva and the Shakti, footstools, and a cabinet. These again are the 7 chakras, which I'm talking about, and from this, we made this set of furniture, 2 chairs, and the painting together. Very different, but quite striking. This is a rather large canvas. It has words by Rabindranath Tagore and Jalaluddin Rumi. And this is what we made of it. Chairs, stools which would pull apart. Sorry, the photograph is not very good. I did an index fair, which was a fair on Simply Design. It was the first time in Bombay that Index was putting up an art fair. These are the 3 universes, the dark, the golden, and the white. We come from nothing, we go into the golden, and then eventually everything is just so beautiful. Some shots of the show. This is the bike that I was talking about. It's called the Vedic bike, on which the Hanuman Chalisa is written all across it. And that's what it looked like. A close-up of the mudguard. That's the one. Then there happened sunburn, in which we did bikes, and I wrote the names of the artists. So a couple of the artists, Marcus and Schultz, Hari and Sukhmani, Shire and Fung, Anish Sood. I know, I can read it very well because I'm used to it, but this is how it was. And I had some lovely young people like you coming and asking me, what are you writing? And then when I explained the alphabets and then they could read it, it was fun. A close-up of the mudguard. And this is how we attached it. It says Sunburn, Goa. And that's my son and I putting the bike together. It was a live build-up of the bike in 3 days. In 3 days, he had to build the bike and I had to write on it simultaneously. On the 3rd evening, on the last day of the show, this is what we did with the bike. I also teach the Chakra Kriya. So those are my panels. I do these meditational cards. So once you've learned the Kriya, and if you want to sit with it and do it yourself, these cards help you. The name of the chakra is written all around it. This is what I did at an art hub, a lovely gallery in Worli in Mumbai. Then I was invited to your city and I did a wonderful show. It was a dance exposition and there were some wonderful dancers present. So they asked me what could I do for them. So I did a similar chakra kriya for the people who were coming for the show. That's me with my saris. Those are the wonderful people of Ahmedabad who invited me. The dancers, oh my God, these are some of the famous dancers from here. I did Kala Chaupal last year in Jaipur. That we were 50 global artists. This was one of the best residencies, and I've done some residencies, but this was one of the best residencies that we did last year. We are all the artists and the organizers. This is how I look when I work. And this. And that was at the end of one of the paintings that I did. Finally, about 5 years ago, my son said, why don't you try fashion? Women like to wear clothes. For me, the garment that is completely surreal and yet beautiful is the sari. So when he said, let's do something, I did saris. I started with beautiful saris. First, I just took my work and I put it up on the sari. Later on, I started to design. On my 60th birthday, I'm 63. On my 60th birthday, I invited all my friends to come, put on makeup, wear saris, and be professionally photographed. We had fun, but we got some great pictures. So, that again is the 7th chakra on the pallu. This is the Surya Ashtakam. The Surya Ashtakam is again a very beautiful shloka in obeisance to the sun. This was 101 flowers, the pink one, and the Gayatri mantra on the other one. This again is 101 flowers, names of 101 flowers written. Global flowers, Indian as well as from everywhere else. This again is the Surya Ashtakam. A lovely friend posed. This is 101 flowers again. The sari that she is wearing is Aham Brahmasmi and the painting is 101 flowers. This was the first time I sat and actually designed it as a pallu to be used and printed in the way that it should be. So one of the first, I would say, structured designs that I did of the Surya Ashtakam. And these are the results of that. I did skirts and saris, dupattas, and here I have two of my lovely people here who wore these, and it was very nice. These are names of 101 flowers. I can read some for you. The middle line, the one under the pink and yellow lotus is sunflower, son safa, because that's what we say, and lily, and then there's kumud, aboli, ratrani, champa, and further. Lots and lots and lots of flowers. That was a scarf. The scarves look very, very pretty. That was an entire dupatta, another dupatta, the sari, and the skirt and a scarf. This again was another variation of the 7 chakras. That's how it went. This is the Narayani Namostute, which I said is 16 stanzas or verses from the Durga Stuti. Beautifully written, and this is how I made a sari and a scarf. That's a sari. This was the Gayatri mantra, which turned into this. Pretty neat. I was quite happy with myself. This is my parrot, which turns into a lotus, and Khalil Gibran, and that's the sari. This is the first time I actually went for something like khadi. I get them all digitally printed because I did think whether I should get it woven or hand printed or block printed. But at that point of time, I didn't have time to do research. I'm very bad at research. I'm a very lazy person. So I said, no, digital. Just send it off, they will print it, they will send it back to me. Done. I made dresses out of it. This one says grateful. Again, this is one of the few structured designs that I worked. The lotus, the G in the background, and the grateful. Aham Brahmasmi. These were for men. This is the Vishnu Stuti which tells you how a man should be. So I said, let's present it to the men and let them understand how they should be. So that's the Vishnu Stuti, another one of it. And then my happy paintings, and that's how they turned out. Yeah? This is simpler maybe for you to read. These are cities of the world. The first red one on top says Mumbai, if you can read it. If you look at the blue one down, which is upside down, it says Paris. So this was also fun. There's New York in green on the side. This was the Vakratunda which I had first done, and now it's transformed into a sari. This is another version of the Vakratunda, no image. Because sometimes people said, oh, we don't wear images. So then I said, okay, just use the words. That's me. I love wearing my own stuff, obviously. I'm always wearing my own stuff. I did a lot of shows in Dubai. Funnily enough, it was one of my best markets. Kaftans, I did beautiful kaftans. Shrugs, that's a dress that I did. In September this year, I was in the US, and 2 months before that, a very lovely curator, Shubha Lakshmi Shukla, had said that please participate in a show which is called Text. There were supposed to be no visuals. There was only words. What words? I asked her. So she said, now you have to use words of your own situation, something to do with your own life. So after 15 years of using words from others, beautiful words, I had to sit down and form my own words, which was very difficult. I procrastinated for 2 months. Finally, she called me when I was there. She said, no, I want it. So I was at my sister's home. I walked out into their beautiful garden, and I said, all right, let me sit down and let me write a few words. These words pertain to what I feel or what I have learned in my 63 years. I made 11 of these. I'm only showing you 4. Most of them got sold, but it was a wonderful show. That's the wonderful, gentle lady who goaded me into doing this. So I'll read the first one. And this is something from me to you. Become the earth. The sun will create a halo around you. Remember, you are important, but go low, and somebody will come and create that halo. Each one of us is loved and will always be loved. The second one is, be the softly glowing star that you are. I don't believe in being loud and walking up and in defying or confrontations. I'm not that type. Every one of us has a beautiful soft side to us. I would rather work on that. This is very interesting for 60% of the audience. Contain within yourself, contain every raging thunderstorm within you. Woman. Because we are women, we can contain things, and that is why we do it. Interesting. And the last one is, when you find your rainbow, seize. If it disappears, wait, it will come back. That's what I have for you. This is my Aham Brahmasmi, which goes running in such a lovely young class of people, all looking forward to becoming designers. So, just follow your heart, but remember to be kind. Kindness is underrated in the world. That's what I would ask you to be. I'm going to do a little bit of work on that, and I'm going to be writing a little bit. Anything you want to ask me while I'm working, you're free to do so. Thank you so much. Ganeshas and Om Namah Shivais, which were just written in a normal font. And okay, there's another aspect to this. Just give me a minute. There is, I think he's from Andhra Pradesh. His name is Stephen Devassi. He's a music choreographer. I have his music on my iPad, and what you say, that inspiration to write the shlokas came from his music. Music and art is always, it simply goes together, right? So maybe what I'll do is I'll play some of his music for you, and you can see where the inspiration came from. And when I heard his music, I said, this is what I want to write on my painting. It was phenomenal. I used that music in my daughter's wedding in Jaipur, and all the Sardars, were shocked. What is this going on? They couldn't understand because he used Carnatic music and fusion music with the chants. So it is such an amazing musical school or a trend of thought. I think that's what really got me. I don't listen to Bollywood music. I don't like pop. I listen to heavy metal and Indian classical. The two extremes which I think he fused. So maybe I'll play it for you while I'm working, and you'll know where it came from. Hi. So I'm going to show you on the camera what I've just written. Yeah. That's Angela, Angela. I think her surname is Guzman, and Rajesh Kuti. Now, lack of time and everything, I'm going to complete this in the next 3 days and present it to Amitabh to do what he wants. But we will have the names of all the speakers. So that's how it works. I'm doing a simpler version here, of course, at home. I sit on my, and I work. Yeah. So thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. I'm very humbled. Thank you. Thank you.